Hi everyone, welcome to Jitandra's Biology.
We are going to know about the structure of nephron. Structure of nephron. You take the structure of nephron, it is divided into two parts, Nana. Divided into how many parts? Two parts. The first part is called as Malphizian tubule or Malphizian body. Second part is nothing but renal tubule or renal body. Renal tubule or what? Renal body. These Malphizian body further divided into two parts. That is Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule. As well as what? Glomerulus. Glomerulus. Whereas renal tubule divided into three parts, that is PCT, and a second part is called as a loop of Henle, and a DCT, third part, distal convoluted tubule. So this is the classification, Nana, of nephron. We'll see. Malphizian tubule will have this cup-shaped structure. You see, Dana, this cup-shaped structure is called a Bowman's capsule. Is called what? Bowman's capsule. Inside this Bowman's capsule, there is a fine network of blood vessels. This fine network of blood vessels is there. That is called as a glomerulus. They call what? Dana? Glomerulus. So these two, glomerulus plus Bowman's capsule, up to here to here, this portion is called as Malphizian body. And next, from there, your tube-like structures. You see this this convoluted tube is there, no? This tube, this total tube, up to here, and up to here. That is called as a nothing but renal tubule. The total tubular portion is called as a renal tubule or renal body. That is PCT. PCT means first this proximal convoluted tubule. Second one, loop of Henle. You see this U-shaped structure there called what? Loop of Henle. And then this the tube, this is called as a distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. One word will know now. This cup-shaped structure is called as a Bowman's capsule. Nana. Is called what? A Bowman's capsule. See, for example, you think that this is a cup-shaped structure is called what? Bowman's capsule. Okay, Bowman's capsule. Inside this Bowman's capsule, there is a fine network of blood vessels will be there. Fine network of blood vessels like this. These blood vessels are called what? Bowman, that is glomerulus. You take this Bowman's capsule down, there will be a tube-like structure. This tube will be nothing but convoluted. It is nothing but what? Convoluted. What by this convoluted? Convoluted means nothing but that is, this is nothing but having the turns in that, not a straight line. Melikalu tiriginattuga undadam. Okay, that is called a convoluted. So what by proximal? In that this proximal. What by proximal means? That is a proximal convoluted tubule. PCT means. What by this proximal? Proximal means nothing but in a part which is starting at the anterior region. See, this is totally Malphizian body now. So what is this? This is a Bowman's capsule, for example. And this is what? Glomerulus. Okay. So this is what? PCT. So this PCT is attached to whom? This Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. That is Malphizian body. As the starting point part is called a proximal. Okay. In biology, proximal means the anterior portion or starting portion is called what? Proximal. As it is convoluted, that side is called proximal convoluted tubule. This proximal convoluted tubule will be gets convoluted, and now they forms a next U-shaped structure is called what? Loop of Henle. And above this loop of Henle, again we have like this loop of Henle, again we have a convoluted structure. Convoluted in the sense nothing but here this convoluted means, again I told, that is curved structure, not in a straight structure. So this convoluted tubule will be present like this, and as this has been convoluted tubule, so it is called as what? Convoluted. And this convoluted tubule gets attached to a tube-like structure, what? That is collecting a duct. Collecting a duct. So this is called what? DCT. Means distal convoluted tubule. Distal means what? That is a posterior part. Posterior part. Convoluted means curved. And next tube means tube. So this is called what? Collecting duct. It is called what? Collecting duct. So these are the overall parts of what? Nephron. And not only that, you see on that these membranes of Bowman's capsule, there will be a fine network of simple capillary network of tissues there, that cells are present. These are called as podocytes. They are called what now? Podocytes. These podocytes are made up of with what? Simple squamous epithelium cells. Simple squamous epithelium or epithelial cells. They are made up of what? Simple squamous epithelium cells. About squamous epithelium you learn in 9th class. And they are useful. In between these cells there will be in spaces are present, and between these spaces only that filtrate, that is a filter will be gets the impure blood will gets filtrates and filters, and then that filtered liquid will be enters into this Bowman's capsule. Will enters into what into this Bowman's capsule. So and next not only that, but also you take on this PCT, loop of Henle and DCT, that is total tubular portion. On that you see this fine network of blood capillaries are present. This fine network of blood capillaries is called as a peritubular network. They are called what now? Peritubular network. That means this peritubular network will be like this. Okay, they are being present like this. This peritubular network is surrounding the totally. They have been surrounding this in this manner, and then as they are been surrounding in this manner, they have been present like this. So this is a peritubular network. What by peritubular network? What is meant by this peritubular network? Means nothing but peri means what? Around. Peri means what? Around. Tubular means what? That is nothing but PCT, DCT and loop of Henle. Network means it is a one small capillary like structures which is surrounding around the PCT, DCT and loop of Henle. That is called what? Peritubular network. So that peritubular network is nothing but around the all this tubular portion that fine capillaries are surrounding. That is called a peritubular network. Okay. And next one more thing, you take this is called as a afferent arteriole, whereas this is called as efferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole and what? Efferent arteriole. For example, Anna, this is a Bowman's capsule. Okay, this is what? Bowman's capsule. Into the Bowman's capsule, you take this one of the that is arteriole will enters as what? Bowman, that is afferent arteriole. It is called what? Afferent arteriole. This afferent arteriole will go out, will come into this Bowman's capsule and glomerulus in the form of what? Afferent arteriole. This is a glomerulus. And they come out, they will be come out in the form of efferent arteriole. They will come out in the form of what? Efferent arteriole. That is the efferent arteriole. Actually here, that is this artery only divides. This is actually main artery, that is renal artery. This renal artery divides into, for example, this is an artery. This artery is divides into several arterioles. If it has been divided into like this several arterioles, that is several smaller structures, they are called arterioles. So like that one of the arteriole is what? Afferent arteriole. And this afferent arteriole diameter, you see this diameter, that is radius, the diameter will be more. The diameter will be what? More. The diameter of the afferent arteriole is more when compared to the efferent arteriole diameter. It is very important point. Why like this means whenever that impure blood which consisting of nitrogenous waste and excess salts and excess water, while they are coming into this and they are pouring, this afferent arteriole are taking and pouring that impure blood into this glomerulus. And then whereas after the filtration, they have some filters in the glomerulus with help of podocyte cells, some other mechanism, and thereby what happen, that impure blood has to be come into this fill into this what? Glomerulus. They have to fill in this what? Bowman's capsule. and in the glomerulus this efferent arteriole is taking whatever the blood is filtered. Afterwards that filtered blood is taken up by whom? Efferent arteriole. While they are taking, as they are narrow, little bit time, very little bit time, the blood will be present inside the glomerulus. That time, in that time only the glomerulus gets filters that are waste products which are present in that impure blood. So that is the reason the diameter of afferent arteriole is more when compared to the efferent arteriole. Okay, so quite natural now, when the diameter is more, it is pouring in a large quantity of that is a blood, whereas here the diameter is less, so that's it takes much time to collect such a blood. So in meanwhile some time is available, that time is helpful for the Bowman's capsule to get filter that impure blood. That is the reason the diameter of afferent arteriole is more than the efferent arteriole. Mechanism of urine formation, that means how the urine will be formed. There are 4 stages in the urine formation. The first stage is glomerulus filtration. Glomerulus filtration. Second stage is tubular reabsorption. Third stage is tubular secretion. Fourth stage, concentration of urine. Concentration of urine. So these are the 4 stages. First, glomerulus filtration. You see that this is a glomerulus, and from the afferent arteriole is taking the blood, impure blood, into the what? This glomerulus. This efferent arteriole's blood vessels is that diameter is more, we discussed previously, and this, whereas afferent arterioles the blood vessels will be diameter will be narrow. So that's why the pressure develops. That pressure is called as that is ultra pressure, or else glomerulus pressure. Glomerulus pressure. And due to this pressure, what happened? The useful molecules, like what? The useful nutrients, okay, as well as the useful nutrients, as well as the excess water and useful water molecules, as well as the that is useful nutrients and useful water molecules. At the same time, the waste will be gets filtered. So that is called as a glomerulus filtration due to the pressure developing, and this is called ultra pressure or glomerulus pressure, and this is also called ultra filtration or glomerulus filtration. Next, the second stage will occur. In second stage, what happened? Tubular reabsorption. In this only meaning is there. What is that? Tubular reabsorption means all the, this is a PCT is there. In the PCT, this peritubular network is there, and whatever the urine which is in the first thing, what will happen in the glomerulus first stage? There are useful molecules like nutrients, glucoses, and nutrients like what is filtering, like glucoses, okay, amino acids or etc. gets filtered, and water molecules also get filtered, and waste also get filtered, and then what happen? A liquid will be formed in this Bowman's capsule. After the filtration, then the waste blood will be comes with some amount of liquid portion into this Bowman's capsule. This is called as a primary urine. This is called what? This is called what? Primary urine. So this primary urine is similar to, that is a blood. Is similar to what? Blood. But only blood cells are absent. Remaining all the things which are present in the blood are present in this urine. That's what called what? Primary urine is similar to blood, but except that is the blood cells. Okay. And in the tubular reabsorption, what will happen? While this primary urine is passing on, at that time what happen? In this also useful molecules are present. You know, in the blood also useful molecules are present. So as it is similar to primary urine is similar to blood, so same useful molecule which are present in this primary urine will be reabsorbed by this PCT. What will be reabsorbed means the 75% of water. The 75% of water, and again the useful molecules like glucoses, as well as the amino acids, as well as that is the salts like potassium, as well as the salts like sodium, and the salts like chlorine, okay, etc. will be gets reabsorbed in the tubular reabsorption. Next, tubular secretion. In the third stage, what is that? Tubular secretion. And this is mainly occurred in what? PCT, the proximal convoluted tubule, the water absorption. And next, in the loop of Henle, the primary urine is slowly passing on. You see this arrow mark, slowly passing on, and they are coming into the loop of Henle. While they are coming in the loop of Henle, that is tubular secretion occurs. I already told that this efferent arteriole will divide into several, that is a small blood capillaries and form the peritubular network. They form what? These all are a peritubular network. That is, this peritubular network, they collect the waste materials from all the parts of the, that is from all the blood. Inside the blood, the waste materials are, that all will be collected by this peritubular network. And then that waste, like what? That is excess, okay, salts. Okay, excess salts like what? That is excess salts like again potassium, as well as the sodium, as well as the chlorine, okay, as well as the hydrogen ions, okay. And next, some of the nitrogenous waste like what? Creatinine, okay, creatine, okay. So some of the salts like creatine, as well as that is water, still the excess water. So these all will be secreted from all the peritubular network. They collect and they will be thrown into this PCT, loop of Henle and DCT. Okay, that is called a tubular secretion. Next, concentration of urine. And then what will happen? Here 75% of water is reabsorbed, and after that this all the urine will come into collecting duct. Understand what? This collecting duct. When after coming into collecting duct, still the 10% of water will be reabsorbed here. The 10% of water will be gets reabsorbed, and they would happen. Now the urine become concentrated. The urine become what? Concentrated. As this urine become concentrated, then what happens? This concentrated urine has to be expelled out. At that time, when a hormone will be produced, that hormone is called as a vasopressin. What is that? Vasopressin hormone, or it is also called as a antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone. That is vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. Why? Because this concentrated urine has to be sent out. In the deficiency of this, for example, in some persons, this vasopressin is producing in the insufficient quantities. When the deficiency of this vasopressin occurs, that leads to a disease called as a diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus. In which what will happen? In this, the more diluted urine will be excreted out. That a dilute urine will be excreted out. That is estimated is 15 liters per day. Okay, generally that much urine is not excreting from a human being, but in these patients, due to the lacking of vasopressin, that leads to a disease called as what? Diabetes insipidus. That is dilute urine will be excreted out. Why? Because this vasopressin hormone is useful to maintain the osmotic balance. The maintain what? Osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means what? Maintenance of water levels as well as salts levels concentrately or constantly in our body is called as osmoregulation. That osmoregulation function is done by the vasopressin. So if this vasopressin is not that means whatever the water is came to this collecting duct, in that also useful water is there, means that will be sent back into the water. There is a blood capillaries. But when the vasopressin is a deficiency occurs, that excess water also excrete outside in the form of urine. So that's the excess urination, dilute urination occurs. That condition is called as that is diabetes insipidus. That is due to the deficiency of what? Vasopressin. So these are the 4 stages of urine formation.
Watching. Please like, share and subscribe.